If 2 years ago you had so much confidence that you could use all that knowledge of your entire bloodline and predict that in the coming 2 years, 2 seasons, we are going to witness back to back Champions League finals for PSG, and we are going to see them play 1 year a Champions League semi final and a Champions League finals the next very year, you would be skinned alive. You would be. Your face would be back in and you will be sent to pre-abolition of slavery America. Because that would have been just as good as capital punishment in today's time. And I'm telling you, you would be declared a mentally ill person. Because football used to revolve around big planets. Football was. I don't know the exact word. It was the kingdom of big giants. It was their property. Only these guys will run it. This is it, brother. It's Barcelona. It's Madrid. Even without Barcelona, it's them. Even with Bayern, it's them. Even with Madrid, it's them. But friends, the football has moved on. Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to witness PSG versus Arsenal in the Champions League final this year. Two football ideologies, two projects built on the trust of a manager. And before we talk about these two semi-finals we have been seeing, which according to me were so good. Okay, I don't know, you guys will say this was Haram ball, this was Halal ball, or whatever. We talk about everything. But for me, for the football fan in me, and with the way the football world is running right now, because there not much left to celebrate inside it. I was happy, very happy watching both these matches because it showed me courage and management at the same time. The same PSG team which has the ability to score 6 goals in a single game against Bayern. They are smart enough to understand that after scoring 1 goal, after a 2 goal lead, now we need to be defending, friends. Now we have to turn it. What did you call it? Prime halal ball, prime haram ball. We have to pick it up, right, guys? Prime Atletico Madrid, well, they are already out. Prime Arsenal, let's just say that for a matter, that same Arsenal team which, no matter what you say, they defend and they score for set pieces. They do this, they do that. They are smart enough to make sure that Atletico is forced into a position where they make wrong chances, wrong substitution, and then after that we'll talk about it in detail. They showed us so much to talk about, but overall the football has moved on. Wow, my friends. And we start with last night, brilliant match of Bayern Munich versus PSG. I know, I told you all, this game is not going to be like first one. This was going to be a very tight game. I knew it, and the thing was, it was obvious. Football is about hypocrisy. Everyone here is a hypocrite, and I will expose everyone hypocrisy further ahead. PSG fan, anti-PSG fans, Bayern fans, anti-Bayern fans, Arsenal fans, anti-Arsenal fans. We'll talk about all their hypocrisy. But these managers are very two-faced, friend. Because do you remember after the Champions League first leg semi-final, first leg, when Company and Luis Enrique came out, were boasting that we love this. We want this to happen in the second leg, similarly at a greater level. These are the bold's word. The rough meaning of what this manager was saying. Okay, my friends. And it was obviously enjoyed by all of football. Everyone, what was that scoreline? I'm sorry if I said something wrong, but that one match actually was result for both coaches that showed them what not to do defensively. And that was studied hard for that game by both these teams, especially by PSG. PSG being the smartest one, they knew that Bayern home is there. We will have to play a bit smarter there. If we are adventurous enough, we will score 3 goals but concede 5 in return. And we cannot allow that. We have to be defensively smarter in this game. And right from the start of the game, we saw much more control in the 3rd minute of the match. Dembele scoring from a great run, a great ball by Kvaratskhelia, who was quite possibly being one of the biggest big game left winger in world football over the last 2 seasons. There is no debate about it, friends. That one guy. I can go on about him when we talk about yesterday match in full detail. I will talk about Kivit's quad but in detail, but that one goal in the very third minute of the game, it kind of seeded the entire plan that PSG has bowed defensively, because after this entire emphasis was about keeping Bayern Munich somewhat in those areas where they were not being effective. But that goal, which came in the third minute, that was very smart, because Kvaratskhelia once again makes the run from quite a deep area. He's smart enough to wriggle away from the defender, create space for him, looks off, find Dembele at the far post, who sips his run. Dembele was first going just behind the fullback, but then seeing that he drops behind that fullback, and Kvaratskhelia, while making that run in the one area, looks up, find Dembele behind the fullback. Top goal finished by Dembele, brother Dembele. When the lights are there, Steinitz, he's stepping up. My God! And then it was all about PSG defending. Being the smarter team, the defensive performance we saw in yesterday's match from William Pacho, from Nuno Mendes and João Neves, that somehow looked good. This team is defensively. Friends, I think we are all forgetting that. We remember some games from last season. Arsenal versus PSG, Liverpool versus PSG. After every one of these games, everyone was talking about how PSG is defensively. And let's not forget that year when they destroyed Inter. They were so good defensively that Inter seemed completely out of ideas. So everyone talks about how good this team is attackingly. Oh my God. Desardoe, oh my God, Dembele, people talk them to their limit this season. But we just forget how much this team does defensively. When I say action, I mean their midfielders intend to bring the ball back. Because if you watched yesterday's match, João Neves, the way he physically including, he winning headers, climbing over Pavlovic, sort of hanging off him, climbing over Pavlovic to win headers, climbing over Kimmich to win headers. He was having a physical duel multiple times with Harry Kane. Kane frame is bigger than João Neves' body. And he was not just constating them but winning it multiple times. And this physicality, looking at João Neves, you wouldn't think this player brings this. But him and Vitinha at multiple force levels, they put in a such defensive performance last night that you need to appreciate that. And I know we talk about referee later, but first let's talk about Nuno Mendes, William Pacho, and playing smartly defensively. The goalkeeper playing when needed, the man that in Bayern's front line, Luis Diaz and Olise are faster than him. So he just plays smartly. One ball comes, played back to goalkeeper. Why do you need to keep the ball? Why do you need to race with these players? So this smart defending that PSG did right until the 80th minute, Kvaratskhelia turning back into his box in 85th minute, defending as if he is the fullback. Emery, who was replacing Hakimi in this match, cutting in repeatedly because Luis Diaz was the best player on the pitch for Bayern Munich. He had a great time and skinned Emery multiple times. But the fact that when you get dribbled past, you have to come back and provide defensive cover. Now, you have to give that. That is the most important factor when your body language saying after getting not mugged once, and Jai Emery was not stopping in that. So all these things were the most impressive part, and that was leverage PSG supercharged upon to win the Champions League last year. After winning the Champions League last year, the prize everyone giving was this team presses how much, this team defend how much. As a team, they do it. Oh. Dembele is starting down the goalkeeper before he takes a goal kick. Like he will eat him alive. That is defensive action. And that same defensively action was visible in yesterday's match from his entire team. This entire PSG. And when you have players like Kvaratskhelia, my God, my friends, like if there any doubt anymore, that one guy I'm just so impressed, his overall power to hold plays multiple times, On many occasions, his dribbling style is so unique because he looks like, okay, he's definitely go in this direction. And then without any body movement, without a body feint, without a body tilt, he dribbles past you. Which is crazy because dribblers, they usually give away some kind of feint in some occasion. He does not feint. He simply swiftly goes past you and then creating chances. He created the most chances against Bayern Munich in yesterday's match. He scored a brace against them in first leg. In yesterday's match, he won most duels. He attempted the most tackles in final third. He was everywhere on the pitch, winning the ball back. Six attacking actions he was doing defensively. Action in his opponent half. These numbers, if your attacker is delivering them, who is supposedly the best output player because he's been constantly delivering goals, contributing across 6-7 Champions League games this season. So if that player is putting up such numbers defensively, you're just going to argue about the match saying Bayern didn't even try because that's what people are saying. Bayern didn't even try. Bayern fans are complaining. Bayern didn't even try. And apart from this, the biggest discussion, I will be honest, I feel like more than Bayern, it is all about PSG defending in yesterday's match. I know. Second biggest thing about yesterday's match that people are arguing about, that is refereeing. Friends, the referee, oh my god, we sit here after a lot of big games debating about the referees in yesterday's match. There were 3 very weak occasions where referee, people were assaulting him. Should this have been a penalty? Should this have been a red card? Should this have been a foul? Let me talk about it. In my humble opinion, according to the rule books, according to everyone, the referee was not that bad. It was not that bad. Yeah. First, we will start with the João Neves handball. Apparently, it was a clearance by Vitinha which hit João Neves' hand. According to rule book, if your teammate is attempting a clearance and the ball hits your one teammate hand, no matter the frame, it is not a handball. It is not a penalty. According to the rule books, that is not a penalty. Friends, straight away out of discussion. There is no point debating further on this. Secondly, we talk about Nuno Mendes, arguably red card. So people are saying that second yellow should be given. Now, let's be honest. We have seen multiple occasions where before giving a real yellow card, the referee thinks many times giving a second yellow is not as simple as giving a first yellow, okay? As we all know from next season, VAR can intervene for a second yellow first this season. They cannot. So even if that was supposed to be a second yellow, the referee didn't give it all that time. VAR cannot intervene. VAR cannot the referee. Usually we know that he takes his time to give a second yellow, so I know that instant was still debatable. Penalty absolutely for sure was not there. Apart from that, I feel like on a multiple occasions, people are arguing that the referee was not really given fouls in favor of Bayern Munich. On 2 occasions, I did feel that, but I still feel the referee was not that bad. Yeah, referee was not that bad as people are complaining. It is not that they have been completely robbed. I can show you multiple occasions, even as harsher tackles, harsher occasion. A second yellow is not given because a second yellow is as good as red. Obviously, because that is technically a red. So the referee avoids giving it. And because both these occasions happens in the first half itself, one yellow card was already given in the first half. Giving a second yellow in the first half itself, any referee would think about it. Friends, we have watched football, we know about it. Apart from this, it just feels like it was kind of sad, kind of odd. It was sad occasion that Bayern is winning after the season they had. Oh my god. Olise, my brother, those assist records, Harry Kane clearing those goal scoring stats, Luis Diaz seeing those performances across both legs. I got goosebumps, man. So after seeing all that, after seeing that company build with this team, you just have to feel bad. Bayern Kimmich, the kind of ball winning ability he has, because him and Malone never, if those two were on the pitch last night, PSG could have scored at least 2 or 3 more goals easily, 2 or 3 goals calmly. They had annihilated the defenders' brothers. PSG frontline had eaten the defenders. It was a midfielder, especially Kimmich and the Maloneur who made 2-3 goals save in yesterday match. You have to feel, brother, for Bayern Munich because they are a top class team. I genuinely feel this team. I genuinely feel like this team, if not this year, can come back for a Champions League again next year. You don't know, brother. You can Kane pull off again a similar season next season? He was in a state of crying after the season ended. But I feel like still every Bayern fan should be proud of the team. Every Bayern player should be proud of the team. I don't think about this game about should be termed as a referee rob job. I genuinely believe so. Okay, friends, do you know if you are a Bayern fan, you absolutely should have been heartbroken yesterday. I also was. If I were a Barcelona fan and my team was in this situation, I'm a Barcelona fan. If my team was playing like this, I would also be heartbroken, friends. But according to the rule book, we all knew things were fair and square. According to the rule book. Now, we come about PSG, my friends, because they are into the Champions League final, the second straight year. You know how big a deal this is, and I know now people will. What will they say before I talk about Arsenal? I know what people will say about PSG now. Everyone will say, brother, PSG doesn't play in their league football many matches. They have got the leverage. Their players don't have too many minutes, and obviously, brother, they have the time to rest more. They don't have to face difficult opponent in their league. The league reschedule their matches for them. So everything is in their favor in Champions League. And I would just argue you are absolutely right. But these were the same statements everybody was giving against them when they were not winning the Champions League. When PSG was not winning the Champions League, everyone was saying PSG isn't winning the Champions League because they play in a trash league. These people are not winning Champions League because they don't face tough opponent in their league. These people are not winning the Champions League because their player don't play full minute. They were never prepared for big Champions League occasions. Everyone was saying this for all those years until they haven't won the Champions League. Everyone, League One, which is the highest grossing talent producing league across Europe. This majority revenue for most of their clubs come from player sales. You pick up any top team and look, Real Sociedad came from League One. Doku come from League One. Mbappe come from League One. Kamavinga come from League One. Most of the players, top players playing across top teams in Europe, they are from League One. They start from League One. League One is one of the highest talents producing leagues in the world right now. The most profitable clubs, the most profitable academies are from League One across majority if we look. So everyone buys from them. Okay, friends. Yet everyone badmouths them. Nobody rates League One. Does anybody rate League One? No. Do I rate League One? No, I don't. None of us do. But the only relevance they have is attached to PSG. So why wouldn't they make it easy for them? And the same fact, for example, for which everyone used to say PSG doesn't win, why doesn't PSG win? Why doesn't PSG win? PSG didn't used to win Champions League because in their own league they don't face tougher teams, tougher games. Those play pool don't play more minutes in their own league. That's why their player were never prepared. Now they are using all this advantage and people are like, oh my god, how like this? How like this? So this is hypocrisy, in my opinion. Obviously, PSG is now making the best use. What they used to get abused for, what people used to say in the reason, PSG isn't winning, they have converted that to their advantage. They take the Champions League seriously now. And now for the second season in a row, they have reached the Champions League final, which is big deal. Whether they win or not. It's a separate department, but they have reached the Champions League final. And this is where hypocrisy gets exposed. Because one more club is exposing hypocrisy, friends. Arsenal. Oh my god, brother. After 20 years, Champions League final. Wow. In a season where they are also the favorites to win the Premier League. Well, Man City has bought it now. Let's be honest, friend. Arsenal isn't going to bottle from here. In a season where they have almost won the Premier League, they can also win the Champions League. So you telling me, Arteta, all after the criticism we are getting throughout years, across every season, across every signing, across every game, he can win Champions League and Premier League in the same season. You know how big a deal this is. The game of Arsenal against Atletico Madrid, the second leg was clean sweep. You are not telling me that Arsenal did not completely outplay Atletico Madrid. After Atletico Madrid first half of entire first half, I feel like there were zero shots on target. Or maybe one shot or just one shot. Sloth and Alvarez, if I'm not wrong, that too maybe. And in the entire game, if we look, they forced them to make those substitutions where they bought on Alvarez and Griezmann out. And they bought it, so lots. They bought in Molania defensively. These people put Molania in like, okay, though this will be able to get a goal out. The performance that Arsenal had, I know everyone going to argue that a goal ended by a rebound was a tap in. They did the job. The Champions League final this year is going to be Champions League final of hypocrisy. That is what is going to be, friends, because that same Arsenal fan base which was completely against this team just 2 weeks ago, where they had bottled 2 consecutive competition, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and then in a Premier League also they bottled a 7-8 points lead. Everyone against them, this manager, and now suddenly everyone is so it is result oriented. Friend, it is everything in football is about results. Nothing against it. Result matter everything. And this Champions League final, oh wow, it is a beautiful one. It is 2 football philosophies at its peak. PSG, which are the most adaptive game in Europe now, they are, for a matter of fact, they adapt in competition, they adapt in matches, they adapt in situation. What PSG did against Bayern in the second leg, they are clearly the most adaptive team in Europe. They have proved it. They can defend better than any team if you can stop Bayern Munich from scoring on you. Harry Kane got one late goal which came from a little bit of realistic defending from PSG because they were like, brother, this match is practically over now. 2-goal lead if you can stop Bayern Munich from scoring on you. And I know I still say that they have beaten Bayern Munich this season. I know, talking that into context, if you can stop Bayern from you, you can probably stop any team from scoring on you. And then on the other hand, they are the most systematical team in Europe. It is about the system, the most machine learning type team which is based on the computers where XG from where produce how much stamped and trucked into these player memories. The team has been made against a team that outperformed its XG so highly. Like Kvaratskhelia taking 0.2 XG changes and blasting top corners goals. All that claps and clutter are already there. That's desired though. Coming and something cutting past 4 players, something hitting a low drive and shot that gives into your goalkeeper corner like it's a FIFA game being played. So that's all for the video. Hope you like it and don't forget to subscribe.